Somebody shot in the head. My wife, please!
Is she alive?
Yeah, she is.
She is.
We got him.
Is she alive, Mr. Butler?
Pagi hari, tanggal 14 Februari tahun 2019, Pusat Panggilan Darurat di kota Beaumont, Texas, menerima telepon mendesak. Di ujung telepon, seorang pria berteriak histeris kepada operator istrinya tertembak di kepala. Kondisinya kritis, dia meminta tim penyelamat segera datang.
I'm on 911. What is the address of your emergency? Olivia! Please, hurry. I want to take the gun. Tell me what's going on. I'm at home. My wife been shot in the head. Please, somebody shot in the head. My wife, please! Please! Tell me, where is she shot? In the head! Okay, where in the head? Take it and it went off. Okay. I want you to try to control the bleeding.
Setelah menerima laporan, beberapa polisi setempat segera menuju lokasi. Saat mereka tiba, mereka segera menemukan seorang pria berdiri di pintu dengan gelisah.
She in my bedroom.
Where's the gun?
In the bedroom, broken down on the dresser. Come this way.
Okay.
Please, come this way. This way.
Okay.
Please. Olivia! Baby!
Sir. Okay. Step back.
What's up, Mr. Butler? I tried to take it.
Get his gun.
Olivia ditemukan tergeletak di lantai kamar tidur, tertembak di kepala. Kemudian tim medis segera berusaha menyelamatkannya. Anehnya, Olivia yang tertembak di kepala saat itu masih bernapas. Penelpon adalah suami Olivia, Chris. Saat itu emosinya sangat tidak stabil. Namun berdasarkan penyelidikan polisi, Chris memiliki banyak catatan kriminal, termasuk beberapa kasus kekerasan dalam rumah tangga. Ini menunjukkan pernikahan mereka sudah lama berada di ambang kehancuran.
What happened? We had a disagreement. And I say, baby, if you're not working with me, you're working against me. I say, we've been doing this. My 19-year-old stepdaughter was 8. My 11-year-old was 1. I say, Olivia, we can't get it together. We can't be together.
Okay.
We got several. And I say, I just want a divorce. And her reaction was, she got the gun? I said, give me the gun. She like, I don't remember which hand. I'm like, give me that gun. What is you doing? Stop trying to scare me. I took it.
So when you grabbed it, it went off?
She yanked. I grabbed it and she yanked back. And the gun went off.
Okay.
The gun went off.
Aksi Chris yang buruk jelas tidak bisa menipu polisi di lokasi. Saat itu dia berlutut dengan penuh rasa sakit dan menangis terseduh-seduh. Tapi matanya tidak mengeluarkan setetes air mata pun.
Mr. Butler, I got help.
No. You don't need to go in there, okay?
Is she alive?
Yeah, she is.
She is.
We got him.
Is she alive, Mr. Butler?
When we went in there,
Please don't tell me she's alive if she's not.
And when I saw her, she was.
She was talking?
She wasn't talking.
Is she breathing?
It looked like she was breathing. Yeah.
Ooh, good.
Like, don't go in there, sir.
Please.
Sir, I need you to stay right here with me, okay? And calm down.
Calm down.
Saat Chris tahu istrinya masih bernapas, dia terlihat sangat panik. Ini membuat kecurigaan petugas butler semakin dalam. Namun saat itu, napas Olivia di dalam rumah tidak bertahan lama. Kemudian dia dinyatakan meninggal karena luka yang terlalu parah. Polisi segera memeriksa rumah, menemukan selain kamera pengintai di luar rumah, ada 2 kamera di ruang tamu untuk memantau dalam rumah. Selain itu mereka menemukan pistol 9 mm berlumur darah. Itu adalah senjata yang digunakan saat Olivia ditembak. Namun yang membingungkan, pistol itu tidak ada di kamar tempat kejadian, melainkan ada di kamar lain. Jika Olivia memegang senjata dan meletus sendiri, lalu bagaimana pistol itu bisa ada di kamar lain? Satu-satunya penjelasan logis adalah Chris memindahkan senjata itu. Berdasarkan semua bukti di lokasi dan catatan kekerasan rumah tangga Chris sebelumnya, polisi menyimpulkan dia adalah tersangka utama, kemudian menangkapnya di tempat. Kemudian, Chris dibawa ke kantor polisi setempat untuk diinterogasi. Tapi sebelum petugas interogasi mulai bertanya, dia sudah mulai bicara tentang situasi saat itu.
I'm very particular. I work really hard, and I don't make excuses for myself. and I don't accept excuses for anybody else.
Kemudian Chris memberitahu petugas interogasi saat dia mengajukan cerai, Olivia masuk ke kamar tidur dan mengambil pistol.
What did you say?
Really? You serious? Really? This is not going to solve anything.
Okay.
You know, this is not, you do not want to do that. Put that freaking gun down before you make a mistake and hurt yourself. She was crying. She was crying.
Polisi tahu, bukti paling penting adalah rekaman kamera pengintai di rumah Chris. Jadi mereka meminta Chris memberikan video rekaman dari ponselnya. Yang mengejutkan, Chris tanpa ragu menyetujui permintaan itu.
You touch that. And that's just that camera. Okay. You go, you follow what I'm saying?
So far, let's go back
So
to
go-
devices.
Yes, sir. And everything is labeled.
Carport,
Back
backyard, front door,
back door.
back door, laundry room,
Inside.
inside garage, living room, kitchen. Why would there be no recordings on that?
I don't know. It should be. Everybody that went in that house should be on it. But like I said, the internet, you can go through days and it pretty much does it. We shouldn't have bought that. You just keep, like, you can pick whatever day you want and it's never going to be consistent. That's why I said it was a waste of money.
Well, I'm wanting desperately to find some video on here that corroborates what you're telling us, but almost all the videos start right after this event happened.
Meskipun Chris memberikan rekaman pengintai di rumah, rekaman itu terputus saat kejadian terjadi, hingga Olivia tergeletak di lantai baru dinyalakan lagi. Ini menunjukkan rekaman kunci saat penembakan sengaja dimatikan atau dihapus. Hal ini memicu kecurigaan besar dari polisi.
Now go ahead and do my initial. She pulls it. Give me the. Okay. And I go. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good.
No, you're good.
I
I'm
don't sit
sorry.
here.
I'm sorry. You're fine.
Like the chair, man.
I'm reliving it.
Fine.
You are? I'm reliving it.
Chris masih berpura-pura, bersikeras ini semua kecelakaan dan berharap beruntung. Mengira setelah rekaman kunci dihapus, dia tidak akan bisa dihukum. Sementara itu, penyelidik menghubungi adik Olivia, berharap bisa tahu lebih banyak dari dia.
Olivia Jones is your sister, right? We've been talking a lot lately. We talk every day. She's always been timid about everything. But she was the type that whatever went on in their home, she would keep it there.
Yeah. Kind of a private.
Right, private person.
Yeah.
She loved her baby so much that she felt like she had to live for them, you know. His character is agitation. Like, his character is to be aggressive. I just don't get it. Because all she wanted, my sister was a married type. All she wanted was to be loved.
Yeah.
Like, she loved her babies. She wanted to live for her babies.
Selain adik Olivia, polisi juga menghubungi mantan istri Chris.
I met Chris Jones in 1999. It was just like a constant fight. Like, he strangled me, choked me out, drugged me through the house. My skin was missing off my back. One time he bit my hand. He had this bite marks in my hand. This was what it was. If the house not clean, he's told me that he would kill me if I was to ever leave him. Told me how he would do it. The reason I never said anything or went for help was because I was extremely in fear of my life. Because I knew and I felt in my heart that he would kill me.
To be honest, I videos.
I look guilty.
You're
Not
not,
deleting those videos. I look guilty.
not if you say right now, what did you just say a little while ago? I freaked out. I panicked. I did some stuff I shouldn't have done. Is that one of them?
Yes.
How many did you delete?
I don't know. Honestly.
Okay.
I'm just afraid of being blamed for something I did do something that looks really bad on me.
Akhirnya, Chris mengaku kepada penyelidik bahwa dia menghapus beberapa rekaman titik. Ini membuat interogasi mencapai kemajuan penting. Menjadi dasar penting untuk tuduhan di pengadilan. Meskipun rekaman kunci sudah dihapus, penyelidik tidak menyerah. Mereka menghabiskan beberapa hari, memeriksa semua rekaman yang bisa jadi bukti, berharap bisa mengungkap sifat asli Chris terhadap istrinya. Setelah penyelidikan mendalam, mereka akhirnya menemukan sisi lain dari Chris. Sekarang kamu kelihatan seperti orang bodoh.
They ain't gonna be looking stupid. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor, White. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the that you why is that like that? We're not paying attention. What the man?
Hey, Leah.
You wasn't worried about the son of a minute ago. That's your mother. Look at me like that. I'm not playing with you. Lazy. You want to do some shit, not enough? Give it here. You got all the goddamn answers. You don't do a goddamn thing around this right. This your ass.
I know I was gonna be.
That's clean dish. That's clean.
I didn't want to. They fell on the floor, so I didn't want to reuse them.
You look at it. You don't pay attention to what the you doing. You all over the place, Olivia. You ain't got the chance to claim no law. Food on the wall. Who you burning now?
Me?
Harry don't live here. It's you. It'll always be you. When I got the show ass, you didn't have a job. You collected unemployment. You just had off. And most men in this world want a woman that got what? You wouldn't be doing this if I wouldn't have got upset. You would have bagged that. Life would be so much easier for me if you start thinking. You do dumb because you don't think.
Rekaman pengintai mengungkap sifat asli Chris. Berdasarkan keterangan mantan istrinya, Chris punya sifat obsesif dan suka mengontrol. Selain itu, penyelidik menemukan, catatan kriminal Chris sudah ada sejak 1996. Saat itu dia ditangkap karena menyerang petugas polisi dan kekerasan rumah tangga. Meski hasil analisis forensik belum selesai, polisi yakin mereka punya cukup bukti untuk mendakwa Chris. April tahun 2019, Chris didakwa dengan pembunuhan tingkat 1 dan pembunuhan karena kelalaian tingkat 2. Namun hanya 24 jam setelah didakwa, Chris membayar jaminan $150.000, kemudian diizinkan menjalani pemantauan GPS di rumah. Keputusan ini memicu kemarahan keluarga dan komunitas Olivia. Keluarga Olivia sebelumnya menyebutkan, Olivia selalu ingin dicintai. Dan demi anak-anaknya, dia berusaha menyelamatkan pernikahan yang sudah hancur. Hari kejadian adalah tanggal 14 Februari hari Valentine, Olivia sengaja pergi ke toko untuk membeli bunga untuk Chris. Akhirnya analisis pola darah oleh forensik menunjukkan, pernyataan Chris sepenuhnya bohong. Pemeriksaan lebih lanjut menemukan, tidak ada residu tembakan di tangan Olivia. Ini menunjukkan dia tidak memegang senjata saat itu. Sebaliknya, tangan dan pakaian Chris mengandung banyak residu tembakan. Bukti ini jelas menunjuk ke Chris, tapi dia tetap menolak mengaku bersalah. Tanggal 8 Februari tahun 2022, setelah 3 tahun menunggu, juri akhirnya memutuskan Chris bersalah atas pembunuhan, dia dijatuhi hukuman 30 tahun penjara. Keluarga Olivia akhirnya mendapatkan keadilan, mereka dengan penuh emosi mengatakan hari ini milik Olivia. Dia akhirnya menang,